Hi, my name is Arvi, and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Janus de Cassiel, who is an Aasimar bard.
Janus or Janus?
Janus,
Janus, got you. Okay, perfect then.
like the Roman god Janus.
I like how you think. I like how you think that I would know how to pronounce the Roman god Janus, but I appreciate it. All right, so Janus is from the city of Ani, which even now, before the Gods' War, is still a great and powerful metropolitan city in the kingdom of Demric. Demric. So, describe where Janus lives.
So I think Janus lives in a guild house, and this house is, 2-3 stories tall, and it's kind of like a manor house. The lady of the house her name is Prisma, and she manages the house. She teaches the students that live in the house, and it's filled with several, I would say maybe like a dozen, maybe a dozen students who are learning to be courtiers and courtesans as part of high society. So they get kind of rented out, bought out for an evening, for a party, maybe for a couple of days, and they become almost like arm candy, or they entertain, and they'll dance and play instruments, or they are there for conversation. And so this house is always bustling. There's always a lot of activity. There's always someone in like the foyer waiting to be seen, and Prisma is always there, watching over the neophytes and the members of this guild, and carefully selecting who gets to go with who, and there are other reasons why also she might be selecting certain members to accompany someone.
Someone's got a taste or something, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been here?
So I've been here for pretty much all of my life. I was found by Prisma at the Temple of Epona.
And most of the other ones are orphans as well, correct?
Most of the other ones are orphans, and they were either brought in by Prisma, or they came to her doorstep, and she noticed something that was there, and kind of trained them to become, a part of this lifestyle. And Prisma is pretty much my, my mother. I've known her all of my life, but I also know that this is that she's not my real mother, and that there are other aspects of my life and my lineage and my patronage that she does not know about.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's say that Janus is in the house, sitting in like there's probably like a large sitting area, maybe a lot of fainting couches where everyone just kind of lounges around, where they're not particularly doing anything. So you're lounging around with a couple others in your house. They don't really like these three. They're kind of like their own like circle of mean girls. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But they're all kind of hanging out.
I think every house has that sort of.
Every house is gonna have that. This house in particular would definitely have that. And you're just kind of like, I'm gonna say casually reading a book while you're waiting for your next thing to do.
Okay.
What would you normally be reading?
I think I would be reading about art, or so Janus is really, I think, into fashion, and making sure that he's dressed appropriately for all occasions, but also to wear clothes that are a little bit fashion forward.
Yeah. So you just got this like this book with these beautiful, just hand drawn, very, A-line,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And just one gorgeous colored page after it. cost you a fortune, but you'd been saving for it for a while.
Yeah, I think I spend a lot of my money on the way I look. I mean, it's my profession, and also this is kind of like how I express myself. So I would think that Janus is fairly poor.
He's clothes poor,
but he's looking good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, everyone's got to have a thing, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're investing money in your career and your self-worth, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, so you're just flipping through it, and the mean girls are over across from you, just kind of tittering back and forth, but you're ignoring them. And a moment later, Prisma walks in. And Prisma is like, usually in a very kind of like, tight corset, right? Very long, flowing kind of thing. Usually reds. She tends to go to reds, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, boys, you have work to do, don't you? And the three main girls like, ugh, and they just, start, they clomp off. And then she turns to you and she's like, you have a very special job this evening, my dear.
I closed the book. Yes, Lady Prisma.
And she hands you a scroll. And it's, got a wax seal on it, right? That's already been broken, but, she hands you the scroll and you unravel it. And it is an invitation to the Starlight Ball at this fancy inn, the Griffin's Claw, right? And it's this very high-end inn in Ani. And you've been invited to go as the personal escort to Lord... I really should have names ready.
Lorenz.
Lord Lorenz. Lord Alfred Lorenz.
Okay.
Perfect, yes. You are to meet him at the bar, where he will have a private booth all set up.
Okay, so is there any other information that I should know about Lord Lorenz?
I'm not written down, dear. But you should know that he has a contract at the Royal Docks that's going to be sealed very soon. And I would like to know who is involved with that contract.
So, okay.
He also loves wine.
That's great.
You should be able to get him talking.
I'll make sure I'll apply him with a few glasses.
Of course you will, my dear. Now, you'll need some money for expenses, and she gives you 10 gold. I expect him to buy most of the drinks, but you never know.
I pocket the money. And so what does this Lord Lorenz like?
Well, he likes young men, but he also likes to brag. He loves to tell a good story, and hopefully you'll be able to pull some information out from him that way. However, I also would like you to give him this. And she pulls out one more gold coin, and it looks just like all the other gold coins, except around the edge, instead of gold, it's platinum. Slip this into his pocket, put it on his person, and that will help me quite a lot.
All right. So, I'll put this on his person. And is there anything else that I should get from him?
Just the information. We just need to
got it in
know
my
about
pocket.
that contract. A friend has some questions, and I would like to provide him answers.
All right. As you wish, Lady Prisma. I'll make sure to get that information from him.
Of course you will. You are my favorite. Thank you, my dear. And she goes walking off, cracks open a fan and goes walking off, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So the Griffin's Claw is about, it's a like a 30-minute walk, but you could also call a carriage, which would cost you a gold, but you could arrive that way as well.
All right. Yeah. First I think I'm gonna go and get ready.
There you go. All right.
So I'm gonna go up to my room, and I probably share my room with a few other members of the guild.
It'd be like a college dorm setting, so maybe there's like 2 or 3 people in there as well.
Yeah.
One of your roommates is there. She's also reading a book. She reads like a lot of stories about like the old world, like the old world when the world first came into being. They're not really fiction. They're not really accurate tales. It's more like fairy tales. Like this is how the world was born. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just got this contract from Lady Prisma, so I need to get ready really fast.
on it. And she closes the book and throws it down and starts getting like, she's pulling out some of your coats and shoes. Like, I like this one and I like that one. And this one looks really, really good. Do you need to run?
Yeah, well, I just have a few minutes, so
No, I mean would you maybe need to run as part of this?
Oh, yeah, but I can run in my stilettos.
Okay, good. Go with the heels.
So, yeah, I take my black stilettos and they come up to my knees, zip them up, and Fan, do you have? I just need to borrow some rouge or something to kind of make me look a little bit fresh.
I got you. And she's like,
okay. Excellent.
You put on that really fancy coat that ties in the back, and she goes around back and ties it up, Yeah.
Yep.
She's got you.
I kind of flip my hair a little bit. All right.
And then she runs off and she grabs the largest mirror she can find and holds it in front of you.
All right. So I kind of just look at all my angles. I think this is going to do.
I think you're going to do just fine. She
Excellent.
Puts it down. Have fun.
Always.
Excellent. So you head out?
Yep, I head out.
Are you walking or getting a carriage?
So how much money did
10 gold.
10 gold.
Yep.
And how much is a carriage?
A gold.
You think? Okay, so I think I'm going to get a carriage.
Yeah. Want
right?
to show
like
up
I wanna,
in style,
exactly.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
this is probably what he's expecting anyway, right?
You might as well set the scene, right? So you tell there's like a page boy out front who gives a big ass bell and rings it real, real loud. Eventually, one of these carriages rolls up, and it's it's not like a limo. It's like the taxi version of a carriage, so it's nice, but maybe one of these seats has a little tear in it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And oi, where you headed?
So I need to go. I'm sorry. What was the place again?
Oh, sorry, the Griffin's Claw.
The Griffin's Claw. And I need to get there fairly quickly.
All right.
I hand him a coin. Actually, I say. So I'm wondering if we can. Maybe we should go and. So the Griffin's Claw is a tavern, or is it
like a real fancy tavern parlor kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking about picking up some wine, but I think we should be fine going.
There'll be wine there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
All right. You want to hurry?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So he's going down the main road. There's a little bit of traffic. There's been like an overturned oxen cart or something. And he's like, hang on. And he just whips him, goes around a side alley, brings you back. Like he's going at breakneck speed. It feels very dangerous, but gets you there all in one piece and doesn't scrape any of the paint whatsoever. Pulls around front, and the front of the Griffin's Claw is this long circular driveway, right?
Okay.
And it's got a huge fountain in the center, and there are all these lanterns hung up, and it's just this bright, welcoming, gorgeous building, all flagstone on the front, about 3 stories tall, and the main entrance leads directly into the tavern.
All right. Thank you, my good sir. And I give him a tip.
Thank you.
Another gold coin.
Generous. Have fun, kid. And he cracks the whips, and he's out.
Okay, so I get out and I kind of straighten my clothes and take a good look around.
Sure.
So what's happening? Is it filled with people?
The main doors are open. It's a cool evening in Palan. It's the equivalent of like September, right? So it's a nice cool evening. So they've got the front doors and the windows open. There's a woman at the front who has like a very, very, very tight dress on and has a clipboard not a clipboard, they wouldn't have like the spring, but she's got like papers in front of her, right? And she's clearly checking people's invitations as they walk up. Like, you on the list? Okay.
All right.
And then beyond them, it is packed. Now, the way that the bar is set up is that there's a central bar, but people don't really walk up to the bar. The bar seems to be just for the waitress, the wait staff that's going back and forth. And there's a whole series of booths all around the edge. And the booths kind of form a U, and then there's a curtain that can be drawn across each one. So they're all designed for privacy.
Okay. So I'm going to go up to the lady who's checking people in, and I kind of look around casually and I say, I'm looking for Lord Alfred Lorenz.
Your name?
My name is Janus de Cassiel.
Oh.
I believe he's expecting me.
Yes, yes, yes. Prisma called me. It's good to see you. She does send the best. Right there, my dear. And points towards a booth that's kind of in the corner.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have fun.
Question: Does
Sure.
Lord Lorenz have a drink with him right now?
I believe, and she squints for a second, and she's like, hang on. Desmond, come here. And this young man walks over. What is the Lord drinking? And he's like, well, he's drinking this like elven red, basically, right? Like it's fancy, right? And he's drinking like a nice elven red vintage.
So he's already got wine with him.
Well, he's had 3.
Oh well, let's do another.
Excellent. We shall bring him right there.
One for me as well.
Of course. And he goes right to the bar, and literally like as you're walking in, he's already pouring them.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk, and I'm just gonna slowly walk and kind of saunter past the crowd.
Like if there's a spotlight in slow motion just
Yeah.
going back. Yeah. Yeah, hang on. Roll me a perception. 2. You know what?
Wait,
you
hold
don't
on.
you don't care because
4.
it's
4.
not about them. This is about you, right? So you're just not even looking around, but you're getting looks. You're getting looks by men and women and everyone. So you're getting looks from a lot of people. You just don't give a fuck.
Is there anyone else from the House of Luciana here working as well?
Not that you saw right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk up to his booth, and so the person with the wine is like right behind me.
Literally right behind you. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna let him go ahead of me.
All right. So he nods to you, throws open the curtain, and says, "My lord, your wine and entertainment are here," and places both wine glasses down, and then nods to you and quickly excuses himself.
I walk up to the booth. Lord Lorenz, I presume, and I take a deep bow.
He is he's about, I'd say, in his late 40s. He has one of those like real long goatee things. Striking looking gentleman. Black hair that's going gray at the temples. Very broad shouldered and narrow. And he stands up. He's about 6'4". He has the body and the movements of a fighter. Like this man knows how to handle himself. And he looks you in the eyes and he bows deeply and he gestures to the seat next to him. Please have a seat, my friend.
So I want to do. I want to see if maybe is he? Can I tell if one? I know he likes boys.
Yes.
But is he
young men? Let's say young men.
Young
yeah.
men. And so, does he? Is he? Can I tell if he's like married or if?
Roll me a perception.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, I hope it's better than the first roll.
That looks like it's gonna be better.
21.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's no ring. And there's no like sign that he took a ring off. Like it's not like a little bit of an anti-tan thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no obvious sign. He's not wearing a pin of any other houses besides his own. So there's no merging of houses. I mean, he very well could be single.
And I could tell that at one time he was like a soldier or something.
Definitely.
But not anymore.
Absolutely.
Like, is he
In fact, now that you've gotten a really good look, just peeking out from his neck, you can see a scar that was clearly made by a blade. So and his hands and knuckles are rough. So he was clearly someone who fought at some point.
Does he have any weapons on him?
Mm-hmm. Like when you were looking, you could definitely see there's a dagger at his side and another dagger underneath his, strapped to his left leg. You can just see the outline of it. So he's at least carrying 2 daggers.
Okay. So so he's letting me sit down. So I sit down.
And then he sits at. So he was standing the entire time, waited for you to sit, and then sat as well. So it's like imagine a booth like this with a table in the middle, and you guys are both on opposite sides here.
Okay. And I take my wine glass. Should we have a toast?
Of course. He picks his up. Cheers.
Clink.
He takes a very ample sip of it and places it back down.
I'm gonna sip, but I'm gonna look right at him as I sip,
Yeah.
and I like sip a little bit, but I pretend to like drink more than I'm actually drinking.
Sure, you just kind of hold it there. Yeah. He doesn't break
But
eye contact with you. Like when you stare at him, he stares right back. He's got a wide smile. He definitely seems like a very confident man.
Okay, I put it down. I say, "This is very excellent taste, sir."
Oh, it's one of my favorites. They don't have all the vintages here, mind you. They only have some. The elves are a bit stingy with them this year, but been a very good year for this one. And he picks it back up and he takes another sip. As he does, in the back of your head, you hear, I might make sure it's right, Desdemona?
Mm-hmm.
You hear Desdemona whisper in your ear, right? And as you're looking across from him, like behind him at the separator to the other booth, there's a mirror behind him. And you see her in the mirror looking back at you. And she just kind of whispers,
"Watch your drink."
And then slides back behind him and is gone.
Okay, so is there any way that I can tell if there was something in my drink?
Yeah, you could try to roll a medicine.
Okay, let's do that. I think as I was sipping, I'm like trying to taste if there's something.
Totally. As you should. Be like one of the first things you would probably be taught. Watch your drink.
Yep. 13.
Tastes like really good wine. Like there's no bitterness, there's no weird, there's no weird chalkiness to it. From what you've been trained, there doesn't appear to be anything in this drink whatsoever.
I'm gonna look back at the busboy who poured the drink, and I just want to dart my eyes real quick in that direction and see, is he watching us? Is there some sort of activity that I should know about?
Roll me one more perception. There you go.
18.
Now you're aware. Yeah, you look back over at him and you see him at the bar and he's like filling other drink orders, and then he like glances over at you and he sees that you catch his eyes and he glances right back and continues doing what he's doing. But it did seem like kind of a nervous glance that he sent you.
Okay. I put my glass down and so Lord Lorenz, so what exactly are we doing here?
Well, I just needed an evening. I've been very busy, making lots of deals, securing gold for the city, and I needed a night to relax. Enjoy the company of a fine young man such as yourself.
Well, that's what I'm here for. What is it that you do?
Oh, well, I'm in shipping. And it goes into this long thing that's incredibly boring about how my first ship was given to me by my father, but I earned all my other ones. And from that ship, blah, blah, blah. Basically, I was given everything on a silver plate and I did well with it.
So I'm going to draw upon my training here.
Yeah.
And, I pretend to be really engaged.
Of course. Of course.
With what he's saying.
Roll performance.
Okay.
There you go.
22.
Oh yeah, yeah. He totally buys it.
Yeah, I'm like, right. And at the same time, I'm also going to want to see if I catch anything that he's telling me that might be important.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to try to be aware of what the busboy is doing, or if there's anyone else who seems to be particularly interested in our conversation or in Lord Lorenz.
Totally. So he is going on about shipping, and then he gets to the more recent stuff, and he's like, "No, so I secured a couple contracts just recently, and I can't tell you how much Lord Deomeyer was helpful with that. Oh, she gave me everything I needed and more, and we are going to be rich."
So, Lady Prisma told me, this is me thinking.
Yep.
So Lady Prisma said that I need to gather a contract from him.
Well, names of people who are involved in this contract, and he just gave you one. So Lord Deomeyer is, she is this older woman. She has been a rich woman in the city for many years. She has 3 husbands who have all died, and she has made quite a fortune from each of them. And she's invested in shipping, but overland shipping. So she's the one that would she gets a lot of money from stamps and tariffs of things coming into the city by wagon and all that. So if she's involved in this, Obviously, she's looking to expand her empire to shipping as well as overland shipping, and that could basically give her a strong monopoly on a lot of the trade that goes on in Ani.
Okay. So how well do you know Lord Deomeyer?
Well enough not to trust her. Ha, ha, ha. Takes another swig of his wine, and then he stands up, and he walks over to the curtain. So he turns his back to you for a moment, and he grabs the edges, and he slams them shut.
As his back is turned, I take the coin out, and I assume he's wearing like a jacket or something.
Totally.
He has got like a
Big, huge, flouncy pockets. Yeah.
and I'm going to drop it into his pocket.
Sleight of hand. And to roll it with advantage because he's had 5 wines now.
Oh my god, this will be interesting. So I got a 5.
Okay. You go to drop it in his pocket, and he stumbles for a second and trips just as you let go of it. Okay. It hits the ground.
All right.
And it rolls. It just rolls out. You can hear it roll beyond the thing, and whoa. So like maybe a couple feet just outside the curtain wall, that coin is rolled.
Okay. Did he notice anything?
No, he did not notice it.
Okay. Damn it. So I kind of curse under my breath.
Yeah.
And as he falls back, I kind of like grab him.
Sure.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm there anyway, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna grab him.
Yeah.
And as I grab him, I also kind of want to feel like his muscles. Is he muscular?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally. 100%.
So I'm just gonna like feel him up and linger a little bit.
Yeah.
And then say, "Be careful there, my lord."
Oh.
I just want to make sure that you're not, you know.
No, the boards in this ground are clearly uneven. I'm fine. And he just kind of like kind of moves back into his seat and sits, and then he like looks a little dizzy for a second. He's like, "No, I'm," and then wham! Just his head hits the ground, and like his eyes are open, but they're not. But
Okay.
But he's just laying there.
Okay. I look around. Has anybody else noticed what's
No,
going on?
because the curtain is shut.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, is the coin around?
The coin is like just outside the room.
So I have to open the curtain to get it.
Or maybe stick your foot out and drag it back in. You know, whatever
Okay.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first, I'm going to check to see if he's okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. He's not breathing.
Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna cast. Actually, I'm going to use my Aasimar ability.
Okay.
And do healing hands, which
Gotcha.
restores 1 hit point to a creature that I touch.
Nice.
So if he's not breathing, and hopefully this is going to be enough to kind of bring him back. But before I do that, I'm going to go quickly grab the coin.
Yeah.
Put it in his pocket.
Yeah.
I want to just do a quick run through to see if there's anything else on his person that might be of interest.
Sure. So you just kind of feel him up real fast. And there's a coin purse with about 68 gold in it. There's a couple pieces of paper that definitely talk about what he was just talking about, like the shipping contracts, and they're signed by various individuals. So that could be real helpful. And there's a ring that he wasn't wearing, just kind of tucked in his pocket. Looks like a signet ring, but it's definitely not his house.
Okay.
So you're not sure about that one.
Okay. I'm gonna take the ring, and I'm just gonna skim through the documents. I'm not gonna take them.
Sure.
Just enough so that I have all the information about the contract.
Yeah. Let's say you get 3 more names. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I just say, shit, Desdemona, I cannot believe that this is happening right now.
And she kind of leans out from the, mirror again, and she's like, "I said watch your drink. You should have watched his too."
You didn't give me that information.
And she kind of vanishes again. His lips are blue now, and the veins are kind of spidering.
Okay, enough talking to you. So I need to. I lay my hands on him, and I'm gonna do a quick prayer to. I'm gonna do a quick prayer to Epona, who is the patron deity of the guild I'm from.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just do a quick prayer and heal him for 1 hit point.
Does that also cure him of poison? I don't believe it does. No. So you heal him, and there's this gasp, right? And like a choking gasp, like he can't quite get the air in, and he's clawing at the table, and then he grabs you, and he's clawing at you.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold him, and then like rip open the curtains.
Okay.
Somebody help me.
And then in that moment, he gasps again and falls to the ground.
Okay, so I get up. And is anybody?
Oh yeah,
noticing?
there's like and a lot of tittering, and there's people running over, and he was like, and then someone like dives down next to you, like the busboy or whatever, right? And then they're like,
is it the same busboy who?
Yeah, totally. And
okay.
He gets flipped over, and he's got the blue lips and everything, and he turns and he goes, he poisoned him.
Okay. So I'm gonna look to see if so everybody is watching, right?
Everyone.
Okay.
Some people near the doors are like, call the guards.
I say, okay, I'm gonna grab this busboy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, look, I saw what you did. You better own up to everything that's happening here, or something terrible is going to happen to you.
He's threatening me too, and he's like trying to push away. Stop him, someone.
Okay. I drop him.
Right.
And I'm looking for the nearest exit.
The nearest exit is behind you. No, the nearest exit is literally like there's a side door to the kitchen right next to you.
Okay. So I'm going to run to the exit.
Excellent. Click, 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 click. Boom. Right. Throw open the doors. There's a couple, chefs in there who are kind of startled. You have to move your way kind of past them, and there's another door beyond them.
Okay, so I'm gonna just rush by.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to do something that might be able to buy me a little bit of time. So I'm just gonna get my spells prepared,
nice.
And I take my lyre out as well in case I need it. And
for what? Oh, because you're a bard.
I'm a bard.
Right,
yeah.
right. Just gonna play a little song.
In case there's I need to persuade somebody.
I just love that you're sprinting for your life, but you got to pull out that lyre just in case you need it.
Hey, just in case I need to play something on someone.
Perfect.
So I get to the back door. I'm gonna kick it open. And rush out. Am I like in an alley or?
Yeah. So now you're kind of behind the inn, and there are stables to your left, and like a cobblestone road in front of you for about the next 50 feet. And there's some stable hands out there. Otherwise, it's pretty much just you.
Okay, I am going to. I'm gonna cast Disguise Self.
Nice.
And
what do you want to look like?
I want to look. I want to look like a young human man, and just like really nondescript.
Yeah.
And I also want to change my attire, and
not quite so fancy.
Not quite so out there.
Basically, just looking like one of the stable hands, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. So you if the camera was following you, it would be tracking alongside inside the stables, and there'd be posts, right? So it'd be like post, and you keep vanishing behind them, and then the third one.
And
when
then
you
I
vanish
change
behind,
to...
it's you afterwards. Exactly. So
right.
You're just normal-looking dude. Yeah.
All right, and then I'm gonna walk out into the street.
Okay, you just kind of casually walk out. You can hear yelling, and you can hear a couple horses ride up, and some armor, and some clanking. Nothing to see here. Clear the way. That kind of thing. But it's all just behind you.
I'm gonna walk by, and as I walk by, I want to see if there is the sign of the same busboy anywhere.
You can't see him.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Actually, roll perception.
15.
Yeah, actually, you do see him. There's a couple guards around him, and he appears to be giving them an account.
Okay. Hey, Desdemona.
Silence for a moment, but you know she's there.
Desdemona, I know you can hear me.
Of course I can, dear. There's a rain barrel next to you, right? And in the reflection, you can just see her, shimmering on the water.
Okay, so I go up to it, and
That went well.
That was probably the worst client I've ever had to situation I've had to deal with.
Well, you did get the coin in his pocket. Unfortunately,
I filled
he's
the brief.
dead.
Well, that's one out of however many, right? Like,
Yes.
You got to count that. Sometimes you get dead ones.
Sometimes they die on you. What you gonna do?
So, what do you know about this busboy?
Oh, that one. Reginald.
I'm looking at him as like I'm talking to her through the reflection of the.
Reginald has worked in this establishment for a very short period of time, actually. Was hired on the... Oh, what was the name? Oh, on the word of... Whatever the name I gave to the lady who was also...
Lord Deomeyer.
Yes. Was hired apparently on the word of Lord Deomeyer herself. Surprise, surprise.
All right. How far away is he? I want to send him a message. I want to cast a message on him.
Yeah, let's just say he's within range. Sure.
Sure. Okay. So I'm gonna shoot him a message.
Yeah.
And
25 words or less.
Right. Okay.
Right.
I'm just gonna say, "Hey, you little shit." I say, "I know who you are, and I'm coming for you."
So you see him like giving an account to these cops, basically, right? And then just kind of look up and look around and like can't see anything, and then calm himself and no, I'm sorry, officers. So here's what happened, and go right back to it. But you clearly startled him.
All right. Well, Daz, at least we filled the brief.
Yes, I mean you got the information.
Right.
Yeah. Who cares if he's dead? He was an awful man. No, he was an awful man. Trust me. I know.
Well, I mean, I only knew him very briefly, so I can't. He seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, not so much to the last gentleman he saw. 2 broken ribs and a dislocated shoulder. I'd say you got the best of this one.
You're always looking out for me.
Of course. Although I did not poison him. I would have, though. Would have been fun. But it was not me.
No, careful, Daz.
I know. Anyway, so, are we done? This barrel is filthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Toodles.
splash.
Yeah, exactly. God, exactly. Perfect.
All right. So, yeah, I'm gonna head back. Actually, I'm just gonna walk back.
Yeah.
It's a nice, cool night.
It's a lovely evening.
And
now you're in comfortable shoes.
Yes. And I'm gonna walk back all the way back to House of Luciana, and just before I get in, I'm gonna take the spell off.
Okay. As you're walking back, are you taking main roads, back alleys? What are you doing?
I'm gonna take the main road.
Sure.
And just enjoy, calm myself down a little bit, think about the information I just gathered, and and just enjoy the cool night air.
And it's lively. This main street is a lot. It's one of those streets where all the bars and restaurants are on it, so it's always busy at night. So there's people out and about, carousing, laughing, having a good evening, and you're just kind of walking about, and then a perception roll.
All right. Seven.
Okay. Don't really notice anything in particular. You're just enjoying your evening, and you're walking down the street. You get to about 2 blocks away from your house, and the crowd kind of parts. There's people walking towards you, and they kind of part, and then all of a sudden there's this halfling standing in front of you in these very official-looking robes and holding a staff twice as tall as he is, made of iron wood, and just kind of looks right at you.
Okay. And he's standing in front of me, in front of the entrance to the house.
In front of the road you'd have to take to the entrance, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I walk up to him.
As you do, the tip of his staff begins to glow.
Okay. Who are you?
Well, my name... Oh, God. Why don't I do these names beforehand? What's a good halfling name? My name is...
Fezit.
Fezit?
Yeah.
Sure, perfect. My name is Fezit. Big, extended bow. Click. And you, my friend,
Yes.
you are the one I've been looking for. Well, not you in particular. Could have been anyone. But it happened to be you. I've been getting readings all night, just in this area, but couldn't quite find you. Thought I caught a glimpse of you earlier, but you look different.
I'm sorry. I don't think we've ever met. I don't know you.
Let's walk. And offers the crook of his arm, right?
Okay, I take his arm.
Excellent. And starts walking back towards your house. And the whole time his staff is glowing with this like swirling purple and pink light.
What's up with your staff?
This staff is a seeker staff. Have you heard of it?
No. What
Have
are you
you-
seeking?
Well, you, actually. Have you heard of the Temple of Udea?
Have I heard of the Temple of Udea? Okay. Yeah, I don't really have anything to do with it, but yeah, sure.
Not just yet, and kind of runs his fingers up your arm, but you will. Let's go talk to your mistress. And he's having a good time. He's like he's like walking about. He's making jokes, asking you little things about the city. It's my first time in Arnie. Quite a lovely city.
So you're here in particular just to find me?
Again, not to find you. People like you. I just happen to find you.
All right.
Excellent. And you walk up to the front door, and it opens, and I can't remember her name. Prisma's there.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, my. And then her face falls as soon as she sees the halfling and his staff. And she's like, what business do you have with him? My dear, I've come looking for him. And then you can just see her, like she always has it together.
Yeah.
But her face looks forlorn, and she looks frightened in this moment. And she kind of looks around, and she's like, just come. And she ushers you guys into like a little side parlor that's normally just for her, right? And she ushers you in, and she closes the door.
Lady Prisma, do you know this man?
I don't, but sit and don't say a word.
All right. I'm going to do as I'm told.
This is a mistake. It is not a mistake. And don't listen to her. I'm going to have to ask you questions. And he, again, points the staff really close to you, and it glows incredibly brightly. This is not a mistake.
Again, why is that thing glowing?
Okay, so here's how it works. I am a seeker. I go out into the world and seek demigods. And you, my friend, are one. Congratulations.
I look at Lady Prisma.
And she's got a very severe look on her face, and she starts to say something, but then she closes her eyes and shakes her head for a moment, and she's like, he's right. And then she goes to the bookshelf, and she pulls like this little kind of like silver box open, and there's kind of like a stone clamshell inside it, and she pulls it out, and she opens it, and inside it is a pink crystal that glows. And she holds it nearer to you, and it glows, and she closes it, and she sadly puts it back. I've known for some time.
My lady, what does this mean? What do you mean I'm a demigod? What is that?
It means that you were born of a god, child. It means that you have powers and abilities beyond your greatest imagination. It means that you are special, and you are always special. But it also means that you have to leave now.
But I don't want to go.
I don't want you to go either. But if you don't, and the halfling pops up, if you don't, then we ransack this place until we find you and drag you away. I don't like that particular part. That's not my job. I like the talking.
All right. I stand up, and what proof do you have of any of this? Like me being a demigod? I mean, okay, so you have stones that glow.
Points the staff towards her. Points the staff towards him. Points the staff towards you, and you're the only one it glows for.
Lady Prisma, I've always known that I was different, and I know that you're not my real mother.
Eyes water just a little bit.
So I don't understand, like, why all this all of a sudden? Like, why is this? What why is this happening right now? I'm just thoroughly confused.
She doesn't know what to say, and the halfling is like, well, your powers manifest around this time. You're 17, 16, humans are so hard.
I'm not a human.
Oh. He looks again. It's like, no, I suppose you're not. Well, then I wouldn't know at all, but I guess your average age is teenage-y, right?
I'm 17.
Ah, yes, yes. Well, that's about the time when your powers would begin to manifest. You should see them soon.
What powers are you talking about?
Well, no one really knows yet. Usually they'll extend themselves at this time. Usually they'll come forth a bit, but sometimes it takes a little bit of a push.
So, my lady, you agree that I have to leave?
And she walks up to you and she just throws her arms around you and she hugs you very tightly. And she leans in and she's like, if I could do anything about this, you know I would stop it. I'd burn this house down to stop it. But I cannot, my child. They will keep coming for you. And I cannot see you harmed. And as she does, she drops a coin into your front pocket.
Okay. As I'm holding her, I also want to just briefly close my eyes and I want to send a message to Desdemona, and I want her to weigh in on this as well. Like, I want her to tell me that this is going to be all right and this is what's supposed to happen, as she's always done throughout my life, has kind of guided me through and pointed me in the direction that I need to go in.
So there's a mirror behind her on the wall, and Des kind of rises up in it, and she looks at you and she's like, well, it's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be hard. But what you find there and the friends you find there are going to be some of the most amazing things of your entire life.
All right. Des, you've always, and I'm saying this in my head, I just say you've always shown me in the right direction, so I'm going to believe you and Lady Prisma.
Thank you. I'm glad you listened. Absolutely. And she's like putting on lipstick. She's like, listen, it's going to be great. It's going to be great, just really, really hard. And you're going to find some great friends, and you're going to be powerful, sweetie. Really powerful.
Whatever you say.
Excellent. And she kind of like, and then she leans forward and she kisses the mirror and leaves a lipstick kiss on it, and then she drops back down.
All right. And then I look at Lady Prisma, and I give her a kiss on the cheek. Thank you for everything that you've done for me.
Well, I can do one more thing. And she goes to her shelf and she pulls out a box and she lifts it up, and there's this odd-looking hat. Like, not really your style, kind of strange, right? And she knocks off some dust and she places it on your head, and she turns the feather to the side, and she whispers a command word in your ear, and then as she does, the hat activates, and you look like a 22-year-old woman, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she gives you a hat of disguise.
Okay.
This was very helpful for me. Perhaps it will be helpful for you as well.
I hope so.
Excellent. Then this is goodbye, my child. I will have your things sent. Hopefully I'll see you again.
I look at the halfling, and I say, all right, where are we going next?
All right, and follow me. Offers his arm again. Doors open. They walk out into the front, and there's already a carriage with a couple of uniformed soldiers in the same kind of style and color as his own.
As we walk out, I turn around and blow Prisma a kiss.
And she's at the front, and she's like, well, now there's this tear. She can't help it. All of her mascara's fucked. There's nothing else she can do. And she just nods, and she watches as the carriage, as you guys enter the carriage and roll down the street towards your destiny.
All right.
Perfect. Hold it right there. Excellent.